welcome to Chope or Choke Fight Pick Show with Will Chope and Russ Fairclough, brought to you by Russ's One Idea Podcast, Fight Circus and FMD Full Metal Dojo. Enjoy.
Quarantine's so weird. Apparently, they're only supposed to clean my room like 2 or 3 times while I'm in quarantine. And then, but they like the last couple of days, I told them like, no, it's okay. Like my rooms are not that dirty. And then, but they keep knocking on my door every morning. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna let them clean today because it's been every morning. So I'm like, maybe they're just waiting, or maybe they want to check out my room. I didn't break anything. I don't know. Anyway.
I should imagine that they're just told to do that, aren't they? And then you know what they're like. You know, if they're told to do something, it's just like we've got to do it, and at all costs.
Man, and yesterday I was doing my outside time. Like I get like 45-minute outside time. I'm over by the pool, and I'm like on a little like lawn chair. I can't go in the pool. I can't use the gym, so I just like fuck it. I'll just try to tan a little bit, and I'm completely by myself, not near anybody. There's like 4 other people. They're letting outside time too, but everybody's like well within 6 feet, like 20. And so I take off my mask because it's hot as fucking Bangkok. Yeah. and the lady comes all over. Sir, excuse me, sir, you have to put your mask on. And I'm like I'm not mad at her. I understand she's doing her job, but it's just like there is nobody around me. Like I'm outside. It's hot as fuck. I don't want this mask on me. Like, I'm such an American bitch about the mask. I fucking hate it.
I hate it. It's sort of them, innit? You know what I mean? It's like, well, if you're worried about that shit, you wear a mask. Why the fuck do I need to wear one if you're wearing one? You know what I mean?
Because my mask, I've actually had somebody tell me this. My mask protects them. So it's like.
Well, what does their mask do?
Their mask protect me, so I'm like, literally, that's what somebody tried.
You don't need to wear a mask, then, mate. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. I don't need protection.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm like, this is fucking retarded. Your fucking cloth mask, my cloth mask. I got a bullshit mask that I can breathe easy, kind of, but it's like it offers me no protection. It's just like whatever. I'm playing the game.
I've had this one since I was in Peru last year. Last when was it now? March, April, May. I've had to tie the ends of it because the elastic's fucked. There's holes in it everywhere.
There's some of those ones with the string though, where that shit like hurts my ears. Yeah. So like now I have like a comfortable cloth one, but still in Bangkok, it's fucking hot as fuck. I don't want my hot air breathing out my mouth.
It must be like waterboarding. When it gets hot, when it gets wet, you know what I mean? And and you're just breathing in water. Excuse me.
I'm such a bitch. I know.
I'm the same. I remember we were grappling with a mate, and he had like a normal t-shirt on like this. I normally wear like tight fitting ones, like Under Armour stuff, but he had a normal one on like this, and it's baggy. And it was grappling, and his t-shirt just fell over my face, because it was off his body, and I'm like, oh, tap. It's like fucking waterboarding, mate. What are you doing to me? And then he's going like, you're the sweatiest person I know.
Some super slimy, like super sweaty people, when that happens, it's like so miserable. And then when you breathe, you're literally drinking their sweat, and it's disgusting.
It was just waterboarding me, you know what I mean? It was horrible.
Fucking A.
So how much longer you got left?
We're recording already? Cool.
How much longer you got left, man?
So 6 days now. 6 more days.
6 days?
Yeah.
See the wife and kids?
Yeah, so they'll come pick me up. They'll come pick me up on quarantine. I guess the morning of the 18th is when I get out. So she'll come. She's gonna drive up from Hua Hin. We're just staying in Hua Hin, so that's chill.
Cool. Yeah. And then you're fighting. What day are you fighting on?
April 3rd, the morning of April 3rd, because it's going to be nighttime April 2nd. So it's like fucking going to be weird a little bit. I haven't fought in the morning in a long time. It's been a long time. And anytime I fight in the morning, I fucking hate it.
What's it called? Where is it held? Do you know?
It's going to be in Phuket. I think they're going to do it at Illusion because I saw on the poster
okay,
the Illusion logos instead of like Insomnia in Bangkok. I'm pretty sure he's doing that at Illusion, which is going to be kind of cool. But at 10 a.m. in the morning, I don't really know how cool it is to do it in a nightclub.
Yeah, there is that. Like, especially if they haven't got the air conditioning on.
Yeah, they better. Fine. But yeah,
at least it's not outside. Was it whose event was it when it was outside and was it raining?
In Phuket?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was the Primal FC way back. That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And fucking they had it was actually really awesome. They had the cage on the beach. It looked great, but it rained a bunch, and the canvas they had was terrible, and like people were slipping and sliding, and yeah. So,
like on an ice rink, yeah.
Yeah.
So last week, you got 6 points and I got 3 because you got the Nunes fight spot on, didn't you?
Fuck it. Well, I know I said she was going to KO her. I didn't expect her to submit her, though.
Oh, shit, yeah. That was it. My mistake. It was a submission, wasn't it? Not a KO. So I'm going to have to revamp that. So you got 4 points and I got 3. That means you're on 25 and I'm on 27 total. So yeah, because I was
so 24 to 20. So it all comes down to this week. Well, we got 6 main card fights for this next show. So maybe
some of these were tough, man.
Yeah,
I thought it was quite hard. Well,
I think it's hard to predict. I just been like, I was just like decisions. I already got my picks written down finally. Usually I just wing it. But yeah, this is going to be hard to predict this one.
Anders Stewart, I don't know how this one's going to go either. I'll go first on this one. I think Stewart is on quite a good run, even though he lost to what's his name, Big Mouth. I can't remember his name now. Kid who beat Jacare. Thingy Holland. So he just lost to him, but that was a tight decision. I think he takes Anders out in the 3rd round with a KO. Stewart's only bad when he comes against really, really good wrestlers, and I don't think Anders is that good of a wrestler to keep him down. He done all right against some good wrestlers recently. So let's say I can't root for
you. Usually I do like I'm all like nationalistic and shit, but I can't be nationalistic on this card at all because as a fighter, any guy who like quits out of retirement or like loses from like basically giving up from being tired, which Anders has on his record, I can't root for them. I'm just like it's just like I can't root for you. You gave up because you were tired. Yeah. And I got Stewart winning this fight too. I think he'll pull off a decision. Both the guys are pretty durable, and they fucking they both have lost decisions and won decisions. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Stewart on this one.
Yeah, I've gone for a 3rd round KO. I think he's gonna crack because he does crack that Stewart. Like that's why they call him the dentist. But it's when people lie on top of him he doesn't do very well.
Yeah. I don't do well either against wrestlers. That shit's never fun.
This next one, Cape versus Nicolau.
Yeah. Cape's a Rising veteran. Like he was like a mainstay in Rising, had a lot of fights in Rising. So I'm gonna go for him just on the Asian MMA side of things. But what is he fighting the Brazilian, right? The Brazilian is fucking really good though and has a lot of like solid wins. So I'm just going because I'm like Asia MMA, go Rising. I got Cape by TKO, maybe 2nd round, but realistically, that Brazilian guy, he's fucking good.
Yeah, I like that Cape for this one. I think that Nikolai's lost quite a few matches, and that Cape in his last fight, he lost the fight, but it's because he didn't pull the trigger in his last fight. You could see when he did it, he was great. but he just didn't do it enough. You know what I mean? He was against a really good guy who just put it on him, just really put him on the pace. So I think that hopefully the AKA, they've gone back and worked all that out, how he pulls the trigger, and he should be able to do it. I'm going with decision again on that, like, because lighter weights, they don't always finish each other, do they? And I don't think that guy's a finisher. So,
well, Cape, he has a few TKOs on his record, but it's been a while, and he does have a lot of decisions too. So you're right.
Yeah, it's a tough one. This one I really struggled with. This next one,
man, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know the next two fights. I don't really know them. For them, but like I just look at the records. And I just kind of like give my best guess on it by just looking at records, which is never a good way to predict fights. I don't think I've ever watched these guys fight.
Yeah, I've watched both of them fight actually. Grant's a scrapper. He's a good fighter. He just, the problem with him, he had big long periods out. Like I think 2016 to 2018, he didn't fight. 2018 to 2019. He didn't get another fight in, you know what I mean? So he's good, he's a tough kid, but I just think that Martinez is, I've watched him fight a few times, he's a tough guy, like he'll just scrap, you know, and that Grant will as well. I just think that Martinez will have just edge him on the tougher bit, you know, more than anything. They're both pretty good, both pretty even. I think that's going to be a scrap and a half. They're going to knock hell out of each other. But I just think that Martinez is a bit tougher, so I think it'll go to decision.
That's awesome. I have that down too. I have Martinez by decision on here.
How about the next one? You know Dan Ige, don't you?
Yeah, well, I kind of know that Chris Tucker. I'm pretty sure I've watched him before. I'm pretty sure I have. But yeah, that's what I was going for on this one. I put Tucker by submission. The Canadian, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I realized on a lot of our picks, I didn't have any submission predictions, and after losing with submission, I'm just like, no, these guys are going to win by submission now. So this week I'm going.
Yeah, this is just a super tough fight, because if you look at what that Tucker's on a 13-1, Ige's on a 14-3. He lost his last fight out against Cater. Calvin Cater's good, isn't he? Whereas that Tucker beat that Quarantillo, who's just real pressure, and everyone's bumping him up, and he just took his pressure and took it off him, like, you know. But Ige's fought a lot better opposition, you know, like Cater, Barbosa. He beat Barbosa, but I think he lost that fight myself. I think he got lucky with the decision. I'm not the best judge in the world. I'm going with Tucker decision, because I just think he's. Yeah, I'm
going to say Tucker by third round submission.
So we've gone the same so far, haven't we? Decision. Well, yours is Stewart decision. Okay. And you went Martinez decision, didn't you?
Yeah, Stewart decision, Martinez decision. I have Cape by TKO, Tucker by submission.
What was Cape? TKO?
I'm going to say second round. I'm just going to say Cape, second round, TKO.
Okay. All right. And the bigger boys now, light heavyweights, Serkinov and Span. This is another evenly matched fight. Where are you going on this?
It's actually a good matchup, but yeah, and I do like that. This year, or sorry, this week, it kind of goes into my whole submission mindset, because Misha is a bigger guy, but he he has a lot of wins by submission. So I'm like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
it's rare when bigger guys are like jiu-jitsu guys. It's really rare.
Yeah, how many heavyweights are jiu-jitsu guys? Not many, is there?
I mean, I guess Frank Mir was kind of the last one. They say there were Nogueiras too, but not really. Not really.
They were good boxers though, weren't they, the Nogueiras?
Yeah.
So Frank Mir, what's his name, Verdum, I suppose but his striking came on. He used his striking.
He got his Muay Thai down, and then he never went for a takedown ever again.
Apart from Kane took him down, didn't he? Jumped into a guillotine. when he was I don't know if Sea Level Kane had done that though.
Got my juice box. Man, I feel like a little 5-year-old here. They give me a juice box.
What else do you get? Like, is it a Happy Meal you get?
Yeah. Without a toy, I'd be happy if they gave me a little toy. Yeah, I will say, Thai people are so nice. I had a friend message me, and he was just like, "Hey, do you want anything from 7-Eleven? I know you're really bored in quarantine. It's like jail. Do you need anything from?" Like, he was saying he would pick something up and deliver me something from 7-Eleven. I was like, "Oh wow." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna. I don't need anything. It's okay." But just like, wow, just message me out of nowhere and say, "Do I want something?" Really, really nice.
The thought's bigger than anything for that, isn't it? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
1 minute, I've got someone sort of.
I'm not gonna. But yeah, I definitely feel like a little kid in here. Anyways, well, who do you have for the Misha fight?
I've got Misha Serkinov. Hold on, I've got a problem with my iPad. Give me 2 seconds. It's not the. Yeah, it should be okay now. I'm sorry, mate. I've got Misha 2 weeks on the trot now. She's here now, so she's not ringing the bell and everything. So it's even easier. She really come on to camera. I've got Misha Serkinov second round KO. I don't know why I didn't go for a sub, but I agree. Second round KO. I like that Ryan Spann, but I just don't think he's got the same sort of pedigree. Both of them lost to Johnny Walker, but if you look at Serkinov, his losses have been to like Glover, Volkan when he was good, Johnny Walker when he was good, and he just beat Jimmy Crute, Pat Cummins. So the list is a lot better what who he's beaten.
Yeah, I got Misha by submission. I'm going to say first round. I don't know, maybe, but I never can judge these rounds. But yeah, I always feel like if you get a submission, usually it's first round or third round. But every fighter is different.
Picking fights is just a lottery, isn't it? Really,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Picking the winner's a bit easier than when you start trying to dig into, I'm going to go for this round and this round. It's like, it's so tough, you know what I mean? It's like, that's how they make so much money gambling, because then you have to pick the winner, but then you have to say how they win and which round they win. Like, it's hard. It's really hard. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, can't you? You can just pick the winner if you want, but the odds, it's people.
If you're going to try to get like much better odds or much more bang for your buck, if you spend $20 and if you pick the right round by the right way of winning, you can make you can multiply your money by 10.
Oh yeah, but that's not a good way to gamble.
No.
I used to listen. I don't listen to it as much now. That weighing in podcast with John McCarthy and I can't remember his name, Josh Thompson. And John McCarthy's like that going, I always bet for the underdog, and I won't bet on that because the odds aren't very good. It's like, that is such an unintelligent way to bet. You know what I mean? I've been with friends and I used to gamble quite a lot. I'm not that good of a gambler, I don't know. And they'd be like, I'm not betting on that. The odds aren't very good. It's like, hang on a minute. So what you're telling me is you think that horse is going to win, but because you wouldn't make much money if it wins, you're going to bet on a horse that you think is going to lose. Can you explain to me that again, please? You know what I mean? It's like,
that's why I feel like, gambling's a rich person. So yeah, because if you're going to make a lot of money, you got to spend a lot of money on the favorite. Like, it's like betting on Floyd Mayweather. Like, millionaires will spend millions and millions of dollars bet on Floyd Mayweather by decision, but they only get 0.01 back or something like that on top of it. But if you're betting millions, it's not too bad.
I remember my friend, this guy used to work at one of the depots I used to go to, and he was like a semi-professional gambler, and he put £1,000 on Arsenal to beat this non-league club in the FA Cup, and he won £30 back.
Wow.
And he said to me, this is how a professional gambler thinks. He goes, if I put that money in any bank, in 90 minutes, I would never make £30.
Yeah.
That's how a gambler thinks. That is 100%. 999,999 times they're going to win. So I'm going to make £30 profit, and I wouldn't make that. Yeah, that's how gamblers think. Like they think on different levels, and the amount of information he used to process to come up with what he'd bet on.
Man, I was in Macau and I walked to the blackjack table, and my friend loves blackjack, and he was spending a bunch of money. I've seen him lose thousands of dollars, and I've seen him win like hundreds of dollars as well, like in settings and stuff. But even just being his shadow, it fucking stresses me out. Anyways, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go play. And so I took $20. I lost in the first hand, and I was like, yeah, fuck this. I haven't really gambled since. This shit's fucking too risky.
I used to be quite bad for gambling. Like I put like £500 bets on and everything and things like that. And I remember like Rangers. I used to bet on Rangers and Celtic, and like Celtic it was. They were losing like with 3 minutes to go, and I was sat in the car screaming at the radio because I had like 500 quid on it, and they got a goal back, and then they got another goal back. It's like, it's going crazy.
I would say if you bet like a little bit of money on a game or something, it does make it much more exciting to watch it, and you're really into it. But fuck, when betting like a lot of money though. I've been broke way too often to just get broke from gambling. I don't want to go broke gambling because, and I'm one of the kind of people like when I really get into something, I'm like all in. So I feel like gambling would be a very dangerous, toxic road to be all in at. So
unless you're very, very strategic, gambling's crazy. The other one with gambling, what I do like is like we used to go Chester races quite a lot, and I'd like 200 quid or something, and it's like I'm gonna spend that money today. That's my day out. So I don't plan to win anything. I don't plan to come home with anything. If I come home with something, that's great, and that's the way you've got to be. If you're just like a recreational gambler, like I was, I suppose, not like technical and looking at things and studying stuff, because basically I used to just stick a pin in. You know what I mean? It's like, go on, I'll pick that one. I like that name. This one, man.
This main event's a good one because I think they're making. I'll just say I think Leon is. They're grooming him to be a champion because he's on a tear, on a fucking tear. So
yeah,
that's a tough match. All those matchups at that weight class are tough, but if he wins, he's on his road. He'll break into that top 10 maybe.
If he wins, Dana's promised him the next title shot.
Oh wow! Because didn't that Chinev guy?
His next fight will be a title shot.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's kind of. But he's on a crazy win streak. But it's like straight to a title shot is pretty nuts. But I guess who else at middleweight right now? It's middleweight, right?
Well, welterweight.
Welterweight. Yeah, I guess. Who else?
Kobe's the fight I really want to see against Usman.
Who?
Kobe versus Usman. I want to see that rematch.
I want to see that again. I want to see Masvidal, but
I don't think it's going to. I don't think Masvidal can fight Usman. I don't think he's.
Nah, he's just. But Masvidal now he's on the money mentality. He's just like fights that make money. Yeah.
I like that Leon Edwards.
I'm going to go for him. I'm going for Leon Edwards by decision. I think he's not like the most overwhelming finisher, but I think he'll pull it off.
I've heard other people say it, so it's not my idea and not something I've come up with. Like, but he's one of this new breed that's good at most things, but very good at like half guard. You know, he'll stay in half guard all fight, which doesn't fit. You don't finish people, but you win. You know, and that's what his game's about, isn't it? Winning. You know, I think the pressure's going to get to him. I think this is where he'll stumble myself. I think Dana coming out saying you've got 100%, you've got a title shot next. He's on an 8-fight win streak. He's bailed on about 3 or 4 fights this year already through different reasons.
He was supposed to fight that Chinev guy 3 times.
Yeah. And also he was meant to fight Tyron Woodley. That got called off. And then he's like, I don't want to go to America because of COVID. And it wasn't that he couldn't go; it was because he didn't want to go. And then he turned down other fights because of COVID, and he didn't want to. You know, so there's a lot of stuff going on mentally for him, I think, and he's starting to he's become more in the public eyes. I think all that's going to put a pressure on him, which I don't know if he's going to do. And that
some people really thrive under that pressure. Yeah. Some people love it, but some people all that pressure makes them so scared to lose. And when you're super scared of losing, you end up losing.
That's what I think. Yeah, I'm with you on that scene, like, because I think that it's like, if I win this, I'll get that. So it's like, you know what I mean? I think that's going to go against him. And that Bilal Muhammad.
That's how it was in the Max Holloway fight. I was like, if I win this fight, my life's going to change. It's going to change my life. Fuck. And it was like that first fight pressure and being in the UFC. And it kind of got to me. And I fucking got in the cage. It was weird because I always thought that octagon shock bullshit was fake. But when I in that UFC cage, there's a different pressure. It's just like, it got to me. And even fighting Max Holloway, I was just like, man, he's getting really good. How is he getting better? I'm hitting him so much. And how is he getting more intense? Like, usually I hit guys and they go down. I'm hitting him and he's going up. It's like, it was so weird. And it fucked with me. It fucked with me mentally.
Did you gas a bit in that fight as well?
I didn't think I did, but then when I watched the fight, everybody's like, I gassed out in the second round. And then I was like, well, I guess I did. But I think it was because I was panicking. Like I said, usually when I hit guys, as the fight goes on, they slowly deteriorate. And I feel like I get stronger. And that was the first fight. I was like hitting him, and he was getting more intense and rising, and I was going down. And I was like, I got to get this to clinch. I got to try to take him down. I don't think I could. I didn't think I could finish him standing, and I was just like, I fucked myself up mentally in that fight. So I understand those pressures.
Because I'm coming from a totally different place to you, and from sparring really more than anything. But I notice when I'm mentally not right, or even just generally in my life, when I'm depressed or anything, because I suffer from depression, everything, my cardio goes. You know what I mean? When I'm mentally wrong, my cardio just fucking kills. So to have that in a fight, I can't imagine. I've had it in sparring when I've been like, or actually with Javier. Lee made me do an extra round with Javier. I'm like gassed out, and then my head's going as well. And I'm like, I've got to try and fight him. I can't even hold my hands up. And he just sort of danced around me, you know what I mean? And just left me there.
At least Javier's a nice guy.
Oh yeah, I'm just so glad. He could have smoked me all over the place and made me look super stupid. But he's like, I can't hit this fucking old cunt. He's done.
Fuck.
Oh no, yeah. I've had to thank him for that one. You know what I mean?
The guys in Bangkok and the ex-fat fighters in Bangkok are a lot nicer than the people in Phuket. Because all those fighters in Phuket, even some of the expats in Phuket, like, I don't know what it is about in Phuket. Like, because all those tourists that are in and out of the gyms all the time, and a lot of people are trying to kill you and you don't know them. And like, so I find like the Bangkok MMA community much more tight knit, and people are definitely much more nicer, not trying to hurt you, but fuck, people in Phuket, they'll try to hurt you. Yeah. And it's like, it's fucking wild. It's wild to train there.
I'm too old now to be having fights with people in gyms, you know what I mean? There's this guy who's about my size, quite big.
I feel too old for that shit. I'm like, I don't want this.
I'm 51, man. and there's this guy, and he's crossing himself before, and it's like, dude, we're sparring. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This isn't a fight, and you could see he thinks he's having a fight. Because so when I'm relaxed and I'm playing, I'm not that easy to hit. And you can see he's fucking trying, because he couldn't hit me or he'd miss. And then he's swinging hard, and it's like, dude, fucking chill. I don't want this, whatever. I can't.
Who you got for the main event?
Bilal Muhammad. I think he's going to get him on a decision. I think his pressure, his cardio. I don't know whether he can do it over 5 rounds. And I just think the pressure on Edwards is going to get to him. Well,
this is the only one I guess we actually have most of the same picks this time.
Mm-hmm.
But I got Leon by decision. Edwards by decision. Yeah.
That is the pick, like, and that's what the head's saying. But part of me's going, I just think there's going to be too much on it for him for this time. Like, I could be wrong. We'll see what happens.
Who knows? Maybe he'll thrive under it.
He might. He might prove me wrong. You know what I mean? He's a tough kid. He's good, but I just think there's just been so many moving parts building up to it that it could be a struggle for him. We'll see how it goes. Last weekend, are we gonna talk about that? What did you think of the main event?
Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch it because I'm in quarantine. No, I didn't get to fucking see it.
Okay.
How was it? I've been stuck in quarantine. I couldn't get a stream, and
I'll send you something.
Okay.
There's a.
How was it? You can tell me. You can recap.
I know you know the result. A fair play. I thought he fought an absolutely amazing fight. What's his name? The Polish power. I can't remember his name now. He fought amazing. It was 49, 45 or something at some things, but he definitely
wins a win.
Rounds. Easy, Is he? What for me? What I thought, like, if you notice, Izzy normally fights people with a massively shorter reach than him. It was only about an inch or two difference. So the size was almost the same and the strength was there. So it's like, if Izzy hits him with a jab, he can hit him back with a jab. You know what I mean? So he didn't have those advantages. So I was watching that thinking, imagine what John Jones would do to him. Because John Jones
is on the next level. I don't think these guys are going to beat John Jones. There's all that shit talking and they're trying to go for the super fight. But I don't think Izzy has a chance against John Jones. I honestly think like John Jones is on that next level.
Yeah,
Izzy's at the top level. Don't get me wrong, but I still think John Jones is at the next level.
Yeah, I think like John Jones needs to go up to heavyweight because I don't think there's anything that gets him motivated enough.
So I've been hearing rumors that supposedly it's going to be really, really hard for John Jones to make 205 again right now. He's like fucking big and jacked, and he's going to be. A lot of people are saying he's just huge right now. So
he's looking like his brothers from the NHL. So I've heard. Like, I don't know whether he's been over to Mexico buying meat or what. Like, that's probably
that's why I think of why I think that a lot of UFC fighters are announcing retirement, even though they don't have plans to retire, is because if they announce retirement, then there's no more USADA.
Yeah, you could get out the USADA pool.
Because USADA does random tests. USADA has showed up to Tiger Muay Thai and has tested the UFC fighters there. So like they'll randomly show up in your camp and it'll be out of nowhere. And a funny story, they one time showed up to Brazil, USADA did, to get Jose Aldo's to pee and everything. And there was a huge fight at the gym, and like it was all big like fucking craziness. And I guess they ended up getting fucking one of the UFC like main guys on the phone to make Jose Aldo pee. Boom! Finally, Jose Aldo peed, and then fucking their camp called immigration on the USADA guys. They didn't have their paperwork, and then they got boom, they got fucking arrested or got fined or whatever the fuck. And then Jose Aldo his pee never got tested, and then it gave him time to get off the steroids and then fucking get clean. So there's a lot of craziness with USADA right now.
It won't have been that because no one in the UFC is cheating, are they?
Oh yeah, nobody's doing steroids. And then same with I just watched John Hyun Ko, this Korean American guy's podcast with Volkanovski's coach. Yeah. And when they're in Abu Dhabi, they have to fight early in the morning. And fucking apparently at like 10 p.m. USADA knocked on their hotel room door to get Alex Volkanovski to pee. And he went to sleep at like 6 p.m. because he's trying to get on that weird schedule. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like for these guys, and then the coach apparently got all pissed. And he's like, hey guys, you guys need to fucking go to Max Holloway's room now and go get his pee at this time because what the fuck are you guys doing? And it was, I don't know, it's wild. I really don't like how invasive USADA is. I understand the testing and but it should be the same for everybody. Everybody gets tested at the same time. If some people are better at cheating than others, then so be it. But you know what I mean? You can't be like invading people's lives, showing up unannounced at their door or at their gym or wherever in the world they are to fucking test them. It's like, it's fucking wild.
I might disagree with Luke Thomas on a lot of things, but I like the research and everything he does on performance enhancing drugs. You know what I mean? Because it's like all that USADA does means that the poor fighters can't do it. The rich fighters can get designer ones, which they can't pick up anyway because there's no thing for it. You know what I mean? So like, you know, when you're going on about it, maybe or maybe not, we don't know about Izzy's boobs, but you know, Izzy can afford to buy designer ones that don't even if they test them, they're not going to find it because it's not on their test. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what the high levels can do. You know, just the poor ones or the ones that'll get caught.
For sure, that
regional.
That shit with Izzy, because they showed like old pictures of him, and that's like 100% gyno. Like, fucking, whatever. But like you said, nobody in the UFC cheats.
no, USADA are great, aren't they? Yeah. Everyone's seen that. What's it called? That thing on Netflix, haven't they? Where the Russians were cheating and all that. You know,
when they fucking basically their entire Olympic team got banned.
Yeah. But you know, look at the Olympics in the UK. More British athletes won then. What do you think the British weren't doing the same? China,
man, I feel like
the Olympics there. You know, everyone.
I just wish our juiced up monkeys would fight their juiced up monkey or compete against their juiced up monkeys, and whoever juiced up monkey wins is the winner. And like. That way, also, they would progress steroids. Steroids would get progressed so much faster. It would be healthier, safer, and it would be like it is what it is. It would just be a supplement. And then, like people, I don't know. I would like to see that eventually one day. But everybody has these weird things. I don't know if you know Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit took steroids, and the WWE wrestler that killed himself and killed his family. Everybody's like, if you do steroids, you're going to be like Chris Benoit, and you're going to fucking, or at least this is the American mindset.
His main thing was pain meds, wasn't it? Most of those guys that have died of that.
They always say anytime like a WWE wrestler goes crazy, they're like, oh, it's the steroids. I'm like, no, these guys are addicted to cocaine, pharmaceuticals, pain medication. They have a crazy work schedule. Like there's a million things why, like there's a million different variables in factor. Well. Yeah, but if you fucking talk to the media and different people, they're always going to be like steroids, and it's just like it's just not true. So
I find it a bit crazy. I remember watching a show and they were talking to an ex-fighter and they said to her because they were talking about T.J. Dillashaw doing his getting caught for that thing, and she's like, oh yeah, I had one of those oxygen tents for a while, which does the same, but it's not the same as that though, is it? It's like, what is the difference?
Yeah, they're like, you can live in like one of those oxygen things or those like, or sleep in one of those chambers, or you can live in like the high altitude, or you can take EPO. They all three do the same thing. So it's like,
And then the other one I liked was they were saying, they're doing eye surgery now where you can get to 20/40 vision, which is like better than perfect, you know. And they said to her, do you think that should be allowed for fighters? Oh yeah, you should allow that for fighters. Well, what the fucking hell is the difference between getting better vision and get better strength? It's like, it's just like, because it's, it's just such a fucking minefield. Like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's just, to be honest, it's marketing. It's just like, and it's funny when you learn about marketing and you learn about the news and politics and different things, like how much that affects everything. You just have to market the product to appeal to people in the right way, and then you can sell it. Yeah,
they've done an amazing job, haven't they, on it? You know what I mean? Because everyone's like, "Oh, too cheap." It's like, okay,
man,
is it as bad as you think? You know what I mean?
It just depends which country you're from, too. Like, because in Brazil, plastic surgery and for women, is amazing, and steroids for men is amazing. Like they both encourage each other to do it. It's weird. But then like in America, you're a cheater, and it's just like, whatever.
Here, it's like there's loads of women getting boob jobs and arse jobs. You know what I mean? It's really popular.
I love plastic surgery.
Can't fault it. You know, it's man-made, isn't it? So it's going to look
good. Yeah. Mamma mia.
Right, I need to go before she gives me a load of grief, man, again. Great to speak to you, Will. Take care, mate.
Talk more soon.
See you later, man. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye. See you.